Yo, what's up guys? Sorry to cut the music short, but I gotta start talking at some point. Well, it's another week, which means another tutorial is here. I'm Michael with Strange Shapes, and welcome. Today we're making this trippy neon outline effect. It's kind of Tron-y. I had a lot of fun doing it. This is gonna be a pretty fast tutorial because it's a pretty easy effect to make. So yeah, strap in, let's have some fun, and make something weird. Alright, party people, let's go. So the first thing you're gonna do, come up here, hit new composition, label the sky text. I'm gonna do 4K resolution, but feel free to do 1440 or 1080, depending on what you'd prefer. We're gonna keep the frame rate at 30 seconds and the duration at 10 seconds long. Once all that looks good, you can hit OK. Then come up here to the text tool, hit that guy, click anywhere in the frame, and type out what you want. I'm gonna do synth memory. Synth memory, okay. Go ahead and align that however you would like. If you don't see the align tab over here, you can just come up here, hit the window button, make sure it's enabled right here. Once that's good, then you want to size this guy up as much as you can. I'm going to just get it nice and big there and then align it perfectly. Let's actually make sure if your anchor point is weird, and mine is always weird for some reason, you can just come up here to the pan behind tool, right? This little button right here, hold down Control, and double click it, and it will center the anchor point exactly. So now let's make sure that's good. All right. From here, you're going to come down to the text layer. You're going to right click it, go to create masks from text. You'll see all these colorful little lines and shapes, and that is what you want. Once you have those masks, you can just go ahead and delete that text layer. Then you're going to click the outlines layer in the panel and duplicate. So that's Control D or Command D if you're on Mac, but Control D. You can really do this however many times you'd like. I found for my purposes 11 duplications worked, but you'll see going forward you can always go back and add more if you want even more of like a trail behind the letter, like even more of a kind of 3D outward effect. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's duplicate this 11 times. Boom, that's what we want. And then starting with the bottom layer, we're going to select that. We're going to come up here to effects and presets. We're going to add the SABER effect to this. Now, SABER is a free plugin, hurrah, which are the best kinds of plugins. So if you go to Video Copilot, you can download that for free, along with a lot of other really cool effects. They're awesome, would highly recommend it. But we're working with SABER today, and I will provide the link below. You're going to add that to this outlines layer, and then we're going to mess with some of these parameters. The color can be whatever you want. I'm going to stick with yellow, and you can do one color, you can do two colors. I'll show you how to alternate. It's pretty easy. You can get crazy with this. You can make each layer a different color even if you wanted to. The sky's the limit. But anyway, so we're going to keep the color whatever you want. And then I'm going to dial this down to just 10% because it gets a little overwhelming when you have this many layers. And then we're going to come here, we're going to hit Customize Core. We're going to come to the core type and we're going to change that to layer masks. Once you've done that, we're going to move a few of these around. So we're actually going to make the start size 0 to begin with. And then come down here to the timeline, make sure it's at the very beginning. And we're going to click the stopwatch on mask evolution. Then we're going to move the timeline all the way to the very end, and we're going to hit 7. So this ensures that it evolutionates. No, that's not what I'm looking for. That it evolves 7 times throughout the timeline, throughout the lifespan. I think about it as like rotations because it goes all the way up to 360, and then that counts as one rotation. Anyway, 7 rotations, 7 evolutions, whatever you want to call it. You just want it to evolve 7 times. Once you hit that, it's very important that you make the timeline go all the way back to the beginning. You just want it at the beginning for this next step. So then what we're gonna do is come up here, hit the effect. We're gonna hit Control C or Command C if you're on Mac. And we're gonna paste this sucker into each one of the new layers. So Control V, Command V if you're on Mac, until they're all there. This is what you wanna see. You wanna see only the outlines, not the fill. If this is what you see, then we are on the right track, and make sure that your timeline is at the beginning. I have messed this one up too many times because I keep forgetting to move my timeline in the beginning before I paste this effect, so just heads up. Awesome. So now what we're gonna do is let's alternate colors just to show how you can do it. Now you don't have to alternate colors, you can keep it all one if you want, but I'm gonna do it for the tutorial and also because I think it looks kind of cool. So all you gotta do is hit that second one because we're gonna alternate every other layer. Hit that second layer from the bottom, change it to whatever color you want, hit the effect, copy it, move up 2 layers, and then delete the old one and paste in the new. So again, every other one, you're gonna jump it, delete the old one, paste in the new. Now you could also go in and just change the color on each one individually so you don't have to copy and paste, but I found this was like a little faster, so I'm gonna do it this way, but do it however you want. Cool, and now each one should alternate. Yeah, looking good. Awesome. The next thing we're gonna do is select all of the layers, hit the S key for scale. Now, since I have 11 different duplications, I'm gonna start this right at 50%, but if you want like the 3D effect to go out even further, you can start it at another one if you have more duplications. Like if you did 20 duplications, I would start it at like 25% or something. Anyway, what you're gonna do is starting at the bottom, you're gonna take your lowest number and then just increase the scale by 5 on each layer going up. So I'm starting at 50, the next one's 55, the next one's 60, the next one's 65, so on and so forth, till we hit the hundo. 95, boom. Now you might be saying, man, I still can't see the effect. Well, guess what? I'm about to change that for you. What we're gonna do, just select all of these guys again. You wanna make sure that you can see the mode right here. If you can't see the mode option, there's a switch down here. You just hit that and it'll go back. So make sure you have mode, come up here, and we're just gonna change all those to screen, and boom, that is the effect. Bask in its glory. And the last thing we wanna do on this layer is we wanna stagger these guys. Right now, it's actually kind of a cool effect without staggering. It looks more like it's just being drawn on, but we're not doing that right now. So we're gonna stagger each one. So what I'm gonna do, start at the bottom. This one doesn't move, but then we're gonna jump to the next one from the bottom. 1, 2, 3. Hit the page down key 3 times, and then just stagger this guy up to it. I'm gonna do that for each one going up. So 1, 2, 3, page down. If you don't have the page down key, or yours doesn't work, or whatever reason, you can just go forward 3 frames and then move that layer in the timeline forward until they are all staggered 3 frames ahead of the last. Cool. And now we have the effect. Hell yeah, brothers. All right, guys, we're already getting close. So the next thing we want to do, hit this new comp button. We're going to label this one main. Everything else can stay the same. Hit OK. We're going to drag in that text layer, boom, on here. And we're just going to add a few effects. So go ahead and right click in that frame, create an adjustment layer, label this guy noise. We're going to come up here and search for noise and then just double click it to add. If you don't have it selected, you can also drag it to the layer to add it, but double clicking it makes it a lot faster. Maybe not a lot, but it's easier. Do I know what I'm talking about? Maybe, maybe not. Let's keep going. So I did 5% noise just to give it a little bit of something. Help with the colors a little bit. Yeah, you can probably do 3 to 5% and it won't make a huge difference, but I kind of like a little bit more noise on this one. Makes it feel a little more retro-tron-y maybe. Anyway, the next thing we're gonna do is right click again in here to create another adjustment layer. I'm just gonna label this chromatic. This is another free plugin I'm gonna add to it. It's quick, if I could spell, quick chromatic aberration. Just gonna add that to it and set the position parameter right here to 5, just to give it a little bit more of like a cool, futuristic, techie effect. And that's another effect that I'll include below, totally free. Awesome, fellows, that's about it. That's the effect. What you can do, if you want just one more little thing, add a very slight fast box blur. Make another adjustment layer. Sorry, I was going a little fast there. Make another adjustment layer, add the fast box blur to it, and literally just set that at like 1. Now it looks kind of shitty because I have this on quarter, because this effect is kind of taxing on the old system, at least in 4K. But I like the effect. It just cuts off some of that edge a little bit, makes it a little bit more like retro feeling, retro futurism a little bit. Nothing crazy, but it's not quite as harsh. But yeah, guys, that's the effect. Pretty fast, pretty easy, pretty dope. I hope you had a good time watching this. I love making this stuff for you guys. Thanks for sticking around. It means the world. This is the best part of my day when I get to do this, so it means a lot. And it means even more if you enjoyed it and make something cool with it. Like, expand on this if you want, you know? You can do colors, you can do even crazier effects, you can make that chromatic aberration like wild. Anyway, have fun with it. Hope you learned something. Love you guys. See you next week.